Start, Guruji.
Namaste everyone, welcome. Today we are going to discuss the CBSE 10th question paper set 3. So let us discuss the question answers one by one. Now the first question here, select the right one most appropriate option out of the 4 options given in each of the thing. So first question, the emission of brown fumes in the given experimental setup is due to option A, that is thermal decomposition of lead nitrate, which gives brown fumes of nitrogen dioxide. And if you move on to the second, as we know that the other remaining things are wrong. Thermal decomposition of lead nitrate produces brown fumes of lead oxide, that's wrong. Oxidation of lead nitrate also wrong. Oxidation of lead nitrate forming lead oxide also wrong. So second question, in the experimental setup given below, it is observed that on passing the gas produced in the reaction in the solution X, the solution X first turns milky and then colorless, which means first it is forming calcium carbonate, then on excess carbon dioxide it becomes calcium hydrogen carbonate. So our answer is in the option B. It turns milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate, and on passing excess carbon dioxide it becomes colorless due to the formation of calcium hydrogen carbonate, which is soluble in water. We'll move on to the third question. The table below has information regarding pH and the nature, either acidic or basic, of 4 different solutions. Which one of the options in the table is correct? So first one, it says lemon juice, orange. Actually lemon juice is a mild base, so mild acid, so it can't be 3, and the option is given basic, that's wrong. So option B is right, milk of magnesia, which gives red litmus into blue color because it's a base, and approximate pH is 10. Sorry, that is not the right answer actually. So here milk of magnesia is a base, turns blue, that's correct, it's basic, correct. One second, then here it says pure water, yellow, and the pH is 7 and it is neutral, so option D is correct. So here you may get confused, like milk of magnesia, actually it's a mild base, but the option it is pH value 10, so it can't be right. So pure water's pH is 7, that's right. When you go to fourth question, here we have to balance the chemical equation. MnO2 plus SXHCl gives rise to MnCl2 plus YH2O plus ZCl2. So when we balance the chemical equation, here option C is right one. If you verify, see 4 molecules of HCl. So 4H, if you balance H, Y will be 2. So 2 2s are 4. Here 4H, it will be balanced. And as I said, Y is 2, 2 2s are 4, it's balanced. When I come to the chlorine, here we can see MnCl2 plus 2Cl2 again will become 4Cl. So that is equivalent to this 4HCl. So C will be the right answer. Then as we move on to the fifth question.
Explanation only answer.
So select washing soda from the following. The right answer, we know washing soda is sodium carbonate decahydrate. We'll go to sixth question. So here consider the structures of the 3 cyclic carbon compounds ABC given below and select the correct option. So as we can see here, first one is cyclohexane, second one is actually unsaturated, third one is also unsaturated. So here we can go for the option C. A is saturated cyclic hydrocarbon, B and C are unsaturated. Then question number 7. The following diagram shows the electrolytic refining of copper. Which of the following statements is incorrect? We have to identify the incorrect statement. The impure metal from the anode dissolves into the electrolyte. The pure metal from the electrolyte is deposited on the cathode. That is also correct. Insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the anode as anode mud. That's also correct. So on passing the current through the electrolyte, the pure metal from the anode dissolve into the electrolyte. This is the wrong statement. So 8th question. Consider the following statements about small intestine and select the one which is not correct. So here again right answer, small intestine, the villi of the small intestine absorb water from the unabsorbed food. So this is wrong. Then when we move on to the 9th question, an organism which breaks down the food material outside the body and then absorb it, generally fungi or mushroom will do this. So right option is fungi and rhizopus. The 10th question, which of the following metals do not corrode in moist air? It is gold as it comes in the least reactive series. So with the moisture it doesn't react. Do not corrode. So when you come to the 11th question, select the following. The correct statement about trophic movement in plants. It is growth related movement. This is the right option. The statement that correctly describes the characteristics of a gene. So here, all inherited traits in human beings are not controlled by genes. Each chromosome has only one gene located. Excuse me. A gene is not the information source for making proteins in the cell. In individual of a given species, a specific gene is located on a particular chromosome. So here, all the inherited traits in human beings are not controlled by genes is the wrong answer, right answer. So that's the correctly describes. Each chromosome has only one gene. Okay, fine. Then 13th question. In domestic electric circuit wiring, the with a 15 amp current rating is for the electric device which have higher power rating such as geyser. That's correct. It won't be lower rating. Even if it is metal body, it should be higher rating. So option A is correct. We go to the 14th question. If four identical resistors of resistance 8 ohm are first connected in series. Remember, when connected in series, 8 fours are 32. And then in parallel, 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8 plus 1 by 8. So that will be 4 by 8, that is 2. So 32 by 2 will give you 16 is the right answer. The resultant magnetic field at the point P situated midway between two parallel wires placed horizontally, each carrying a steady current in the same direction. Then here, since it is in the same direction, the magnetic field will be 0. Then if the current I through a resistor is increased by 100% at constant temperature, the increase in power dissipated will be. So if the current I through a resistor is increased by 100%. If we increase the current by 100%, the increase in power dissipated, as we know formula H is equal to VIT. If we increase the current, that depends. I'll send you the answer in the comment box for this. We'll go to the 17th question. Here assertion reason. Genes inherited from the parents decide the sex of a child. That's right. And X chromosome in a male child is inherited from his father. This is wrong. So A is true, R is false. So C is the right answer. Then 18th question. The color of aqueous solution of copper sulfate turns colorless when a piece of lead is added to it. Copper sulfate, when added with the lead, what happens? Copper and lead. Lead is highly reactive than copper, so obviously there's a displacement happen. Color turns colorless. Lead is more reactive than copper and hence it displaces. So A and R are true. R is the correct explanation. So answer A is right. So in the 19th question, the strength of the magnetic field produced at the center of a current carrying circular coil increases on increasing the number of turns on it. True. The current in each circular turns has the same direction and magnetic field due to each turn then adds up. So that is also true. Both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation. So answer A is right. 20th question. Left atrium receives oxygenated blood from pulmonary vein. Correct. And right atrium transfers deoxygenated blood to the right ventricle, which pumps it to the lungs for oxygenation. So left atrium receives oxygenated blood is right. Right atrium transfer deoxygenated blood to the right ventricle is also right, which pumps it to the lungs for oxygenation. That is also right. Both A and B are true, but B is not a correct explanation of A. So answer B is right. If you move on to the 21st question, 2 marker. A plant hormone helps in bending of stem towards light. Name the hormone. It is auxin, and explain how is the movement achieved. So when there is a sunlight, the auxin hormone is secreted in the shaded area, which makes the plant to bend towards the light. 22A. A compound X which is prepared from gypsum has a property of hardening when mixed with proper quantity of water. Identify X. So here we know X is plaster of Paris. CaSO4 dot half H2O. That's calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Its formula is CaSO4 dot half H2O. State the difference in chemical composition between baking soda and baking powder. So baking soda is made up of sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3, while baking powder is an acidic salt of sodium. So here it has both sodium carbonate or sodium bicarbonate plus an acid in it. There's our question. Write balanced chemical equation for the reaction that occurs when blue colored copper sulfate crystals are heated. So here you have to write the balanced chemical equation. So blue colored copper sulfate is CuSO4.5H2O because copper sulfate pentahydrate. On heating it will give CuSO4 plus 5H2O, which is a white color salt or colorless. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is heated during cooking. So on heating sodium hydrogen carbonate, that is NaHCO3, on heating gives Na2CO3 plus 10H2O plus CO2. That is the equation. When you move on to the 23rd question, name the part of the human excretory system where nephrons are found. So it is found in the kidney, the medulla of the kidney. Write the structure and function of nephrons. We know the structure. It includes Bowman capsule, proximal convoluted tube, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tube, collecting duct. So when you talk about the function, they are the structural and functional units of excretion, where it helps in filtration of the blood to produce urine. So urine formation you can see. Write the constituents of solder alloy. So solder alloy is made up of lead and tin. Which property of solder makes it suitable for welding electrical wires? It is the low melting point, which helps it to melt easily and bind the two electrical wires. The conductivity and low melting point. So here we have to prefer low melting point. Why is damage to ozone layer a cause of concern? Cause for concern. What steps are being taken to limit this damage? So depletion of ozone layer leads to the harmful effects such as some skin cancer or genetic disorders when it falls on the human or animal skin. So these are the damages that are happen. So to prevent that, we need to have a care or concern for ozone depletion. Another thing, the steps are being taken to limit this damage is reducing use of CFCs and using the alternates of CFC like HCFC. So 26th question, a narrow beam of XY of white light is passing through a glass prism ABC as shown in the diagram. Trace it on your answer sheet and show the path of the emergent beam as observed on the screen PQ. Name the phenomenon observed and state its cause. So as you can see, the ray hits the prism, it undergoes refraction first, and again second refraction, it continues from here, so it bends towards the normal as you draw the normal here. So here the phenomenon observed and the state for its cause is, so phenomenon is dispersion of light. First of all, refraction and dispersion of light. Uh, its cause is due to optical density of the prism. What happens? It has more density. As we move further, the speed of the light decreases and hence it undergoes refraction or bends. Name the phenomenon. Yes, done. So please don't forget to subscribe our channel if you like our answers are correct, like the way of explanation is right. Please subscribe and like, also leave your valuable feedback through comments. If you want ask anything, then comment, but please subscribe our channel. So let us move on to the B part of this question, 26B. It is observed that power of an eye to see nearby objects as well as far objects diminishes with age. Give reason for the above statement. Of course, as we are getting age, the ciliary muscles action will be reduced due to decreased activity of ciliary muscles, and also even sometimes the formation of foggy layer called cataract will reduce the efficiency of our eye. It is observed that the power of an eye to see nearby object as well as far off object diminishes with age. That is majorly due to the loss of elastic property of the ciliary muscles. Name the defect that is likely to arise in the eyes in such a condition. So majorly in old age, the defects would be presbyopia, which is having both kind of metropia, hypermetropia and myopia. Draw a label diagram to show the type of corrective lens used for restoring the vision of such an eye. So here we can use, here one thing you can think, it is observed that the power of an eye to see nearby objects as well as far. So since there is both nearby and far, so it is both myopia and hypermetropia. So we can use bifocal lens. As you know, the diagram of the bifocal lens, two lenses with like a magnifying part at the bottom. You should remember that this is bifocal lens. Yeah. We'll move on to section C. Question 27. A chemical compound X is used in glass, soap and paper industry. On treatment with ethanoic acid, it forms salt, water and carbon dioxide. Identify X. So as we can clearly say that X is washing soda, which is used in glass, soap and paper industry. How this is this compound obtained from brine? So they are asking about how to obtain this from brine. So the substance that we got was sodium carbonate decahydrate. So first, brine on passing electricity through brine solution, it gives sodium hydroxide plus chlorine plus hydrogen gas. So now the same brine solution, if it is treated with ammonia, carbon dioxide and water, it will give us baking soda, and baking soda on heating gives us washing soda, Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. Yeah, since it is glass, soap and paper industry, even bleaching powder is used in paper industry, but here since it is glass and soap, so we should go for the sodium carbonate decahydrate. State the number of molecules of water of crystallization present in compound X. It is 10 because Na2CO3.10H2O, 10 molecules of water are found for the option C. In question B, there was even equations involved. So first, chloralkali process equation you have to write. That is on passing electricity through brine, that is NaCl plus H2O, it gives NaOH plus Cl2 plus H2. Then further NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus NH3 gives NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl, that is baking soda, and baking soda on heating, NaHCO3 on heating gives Na2CO3 plus 10H2O plus CO2. Again that 10H2O recrystallizes with Na2CO3, thus forming Na2CO3 plus 10H2O gives Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. If we move on to 28th question, identify the reducing agent in the following reactions. So here ammonia is getting oxidized, so oxygen oxidizes ammonia, so ammonia is acting as a reducing agent. The reducing agent is the one which is getting oxidized. So here in H2O plus F2 gives HF plus HOF, here HOF. So fluorine, actually if you look at fluorine, this is losing electrons is oxidation and gaining electron is reduction. So in this case water is losing oxygen, so water is being reduced, so F2 act as a reducing agent. In the third one, Fe2O3 plus 3CO gives Fe plus CO2. So here iron is being reduced to, iron oxide is being reduced to iron, so carbon monoxide acts as a reducing agent. In the fourth case, hydrogen is being oxidized and oxygen is being reduced. So hydrogen is being oxidized, so hydrogen acts as a reducing agent. Define a redox reaction in terms of gain or loss of oxygen. So redox reaction is a reaction in which both oxidation and reduction take place simultaneously. So in terms of loss of oxygen or gain of oxygen, loss of oxygen is called oxidation, gain of oxygen is called reduction. So both simultaneously happen, both loss and gain of oxygen occur together, that is called redox reaction. So as we move on to 29th question, a student wants to project the image of a candle flame on a screen 60 cm in front of a mirror. I repeat, project the image of a candle flame on a screen 60 cm in front of a mirror by keeping the candle at a distance of 15 cm from its pole. So object distance U is equal to 15 cm. V is equal to 60 centimeter. So name the type of, so object distance U is equal to 15, V is equal to 60. So 4 times the distance of the object. Name the type of the mirror used, obviously in front of the mirror. So it is concave mirror, because it forms always real inverted image but in front of the mirror except last case. And also calculate magnification of the image produced. So very simple, magnification M is equal to minus V by U in front of the mirror. So minus V is minus 60 by U is 15. So 60 by 15, 4. Magnification produced is 4. So since it is minus 15 by minus 60 by minus 15, so answer is 4. Distance between the object and its image. So distance between the mirror and the object was 15 centimeter. Distance between the mirror and image was 60 centimeter. Since both are on the same side, we have to subtract 60 minus 15, 45 centimeter. So that's the answer for 29A and B, B1 and 2. If you move on to C, draw a ray diagram to show the image formation. So it's very easy. You should draw a concave mirror and label all the parts like principal axis and other things. Keep the object 15 centimeter in front of the mirror and you will get the image. The rays you have to take and you will get the image 60 centimeter. So image will be somewhere like this. If we move on to the 30th question, state the role of ATP in cellular respiration. So here ATP, the full form adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy currency of the cell. So during cellular respiration, glucose is broken down first into pyruvate, then in presence of oxygen it breaks down into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. So this energy is nothing but in the form of ATP. So what ensures sufficient exchange of gases in plants? So here, to know the sufficient exchange of gases in plants, it is sufficient exchange of gases. So amount of oxygen required and available. Fine, this I will send it in the comment box. Then state the conditions on which the direction of diffusion of gases in plant depend upon. State the conditions on which direction of diffusion of gases in plant depends upon. The direction again, it depends on the concentration of the gases there and required. Our question, what is the internal energy reserve in plants and animals? This also I'll send it in the comment box soon. How do desert plants perform photosynthesis if their stomata remain closed during the day? So since they are closed during the day, at the night time they take it open and they store the carbon dioxide necessary, and during the daytime they close the stomata to prevent the loss of water and thus perform the photosynthesis. 31st question, state the rule used to find the force acting on the current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. So Fleming's left hand rule. State the rule used to find the force acting on the current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. So Fleming's left hand rule. Given below are three diagrams showing entry of an electron in a magnetic field. Entry of an electron. Remember, electron is going from negative to positive. Identify the case in which the force will be maximum and force will be minimum respectively. Give reason for your answer. As we know that the force will be maximum when all the three are mutually perpendicular. Like, you know, electric field, electric current and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other. So if you look at the first case, so electron movement is perpendicular to the direction of the magnetic field. So there we can see the force is maximum. But in case of second, so magnetic field, it's not exactly perpendicular, it's slightly minimum compared to first case, and it is the least or zero in case of, since it is parallel, it is very least in third case. Yes, our question, draw the pattern of magnetic field lines of current carrying solenoid. Same like that of a bar magnet, the field lines will be visible moving from north to south outside, south to north inside. And even bar magnet almost same. So current carrying solenoid and a bar magnet. Since solenoid acts like a bar magnet, here I think it's an easy question for you. You can draw the pattern of magnetic field lines similarly for both solenoid as well as bar magnet, but only thing you need to change, there you have to draw solenoid, that coiled loop of wire, while in case of bar magnet you just need to draw a bar magnet. That's all. List two distinguishing features between the two fields. So here almost the magnetic field, uh, since the solenoid acts like a bar magnet, the magnetic field in case of solenoid it can be stopped, like so when you turn off the current there won't be any magnetic field. Since it is a temporary magnet, as soon as you turn on the current, it will turn into a magnet. As you turn off the current, it will never be a magnet. But in case of bar magnet, it's different. And the strength of the magnetic field can be increased in a solenoid by placing a soft iron core, or by increasing the number of turns, or by increasing the current. So majorly by introducing a soft iron core, you can increase the magnetic field strength. But in a bar magnet, you can't. Fine. If you move on to the 32nd question, why does a kitchen garden called an artificial ecosystem, while a forest is considered as a natural ecosystem? As we know, there is an interaction between both the biotic and abiotic factors in the natural ecosystem. It's a self-sustaining ecosystem. There will be no waste, as there is a diversity that animals interdependent on each other and they keep interacting. There will be no waste left in the forest ecosystem, whereas kitchen garden is artificially set up ecosystem. So there it is not a self-sustaining ecosystem and it is man-made, so it's not a natural ecosystem where we have to clean the things and all. So that is second question. While designing an artificial ecosystem at home, write anything, two things kept in mind to convert it into a self-sustaining system. Give reason to justify your answer. So there should be an interaction between both biotic and abiotic factors, which should be keep regenerating. Like you can introduce some decomposers that will decompose the waste left. Otherwise, one has to interrupt to do that, and the decomposed material act as a manure. So there will be an interrelationship. So this is what we have to keep in mind. Next question. Construct a food chain of 4 trophic level comprising the following: hawk, snake, plant, rat. So first trophic level is plant, then plants are eaten by rats, rats are eaten by snake, and snakes are eaten by hawks. So this will go to the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20,000 joules of energy was transferred by the producer to the organism of second trophic level. Remember, 20,000 of energy was transferred by the producers. Producers have 20,000. The primary consumers will get 10% of that, that is 2,000. So in that 10% means 200 joules will go to second trophic level. Calculate the amount of energy that will be transferred by organism of the third trophic level to the organism to the fourth trophic level. Okay, third to fourth you have to calculate. So if 20,000 is in the producer, first primary consumers will get 2,000, secondary consumers will get 200, tertiary consumer, the third trophic level, that is secondary. Producer, primary, secondary. So third trophic level is secondary consumer, that is they are getting 200. Then from them it will go to 10%, that is 20 joules of energy. If you move on to the 33rd question, a person cannot see distinctly the object placed beyond 5 meters from his eyes. Name the defect of vision of if the person is suffering from. So this is clearly said, myopia or nearsightedness. Draw a ray diagram to illustrate this defect. List its two possible causes. So ray diagram we can easily draw. That image is formed in front of the retina. So you can correct it by using concave lens. List two possible causes. Elongation of the eye is the cause for the myopia, or increase focal length will be decreased. Okay. Name the lens used for the correction, that is concave lens. Fine. We'll move on to the section D. 34 to 36. 34. Mention the role of the following organs of human male reproductive system. So most of the times they used to ask female reproductive system, this time male reproductive system. Role of the following organs. Testes produce hormones such as testosterone, which are responsible for secondary sexual characters in boys. Scrotum is a sac-like structure which stores, has the testis in it and which regulates the temperature. Actually, scrotum is a sac-like structure which has the testis present in it, so which prevents the sperm getting damaged by the body temperature. Vas deferens, pathway through which okay. So vas deferens is a pathway where the male gametes like sperm or the semen will be transferred, and seminal vesicle is the place where the semen is secreted to nourish the sperm. So last question in this, what is placenta? Placenta is a disc-like structure which acts like a connecting link between mother and the baby. Its function in a human female is helps in transporting materials from mother to the offspring. Fine. The remaining questions will be sent in the comment section. So please like, share and subscribe our channel if you really like the answers. Thank you. Dhanyawad.